There's a common belief that intimacy begins in the bedroom, but in reality, it starts much earlier than that. Long before anything physical happens, something deeper is already forming. And what most people don't realize is that there are certain subtle places on a woman's body that, when approached with care and intention, can awaken not just attraction, but trust, emotional closeness, and a connection she won't forget. Most men aren't even aware of these details, which is why their efforts often don't land the way they expect. Stay with me, because what you're about to understand isn't about tricks. It's about connection on a deeper level. Hi, I'm Lauren Ponce, and today we're going to talk about something that goes far beyond surface level attraction. This is about real connection, the kind a woman doesn't just notice in the moment, but feels deeply and remembers long after. Think about this for a second. Have you ever been around someone and felt that quiet pull between you? Nothing obvious happening, no big gestures, yet underneath something strong is building. That's the kind of connection we're talking about. It's not rushed or forced. It's something that grows naturally and feels real. As time goes on, connection becomes less about impressing someone and more about truly understanding them. It's about creating a space where they feel safe, not just physically, but emotionally. And when a woman feels that kind of safety, she opens up in a way that most people rarely experience. Where many men go wrong is focusing only on the outcome. They treat intimacy like a goal to reach, when in reality, it's a process made up of small, meaningful moments. Quiet gestures, subtle signals. These are the things that actually matter. Let's start with something simple but powerful: the back of her neck, just under the hairline. This area isn't just sensitive physically, it carries emotional weight. It's a place she can't see, which means she has to trust you completely when you're close to it. And trust is everything. The way you approach matters more than anything. There's no rush. You gently move her hair aside, slowly, with intention. You pause for a moment, then place a soft, unhurried kiss. What you're expressing in that moment isn't just physical, it's presence, it's attention, it's care. Moments like that stay with her, not because of the action itself, but because of how it made her feel. Many people rush through these things, treating them like steps, but they're not steps. They're opportunities to slow down and actually connect. Sometimes it's the smallest moment that leaves the biggest impression. A simple gesture done with presence can mean more than anything dramatic. Now, consider the space just behind her ear. This area carries a different kind of intimacy. It's close, personal, and naturally draws attention. Even before touch, just being near it creates awareness. And when approached gently, it can build a sense of closeness that feels very real. What matters here is subtlety. There's no need to overdo anything. A soft touch combined with a quiet, genuine word can create a moment that feels deeply personal. It's not about what you say, it's about how real it feels. Take a moment to think. When was the last time you truly noticed someone? Not just looked at them, but paid attention to how they respond, how they feel, how they relax when they're comfortable. That level of awareness is rare, and that's exactly why it stands out. There's something powerful about being fully present with someone. It's not about techniques, it's about attention. Now shift to something even more subtle: the inside of her wrist. This isn't about desire in the usual sense, it's about appreciation. The skin there is soft, and you can feel her pulse, her natural rhythm. When you gently hold her hand and take a moment to acknowledge that space, it communicates care in a quiet but meaningful way. It shows patience. It shows that you're not rushing. And that kind of attention builds something deeper than attraction. It builds connection. What stands out most is when someone takes the time to notice the small things. Most people overlook them, but when you don't, it makes a difference. As you continue to understand this, you'll notice a pattern. It's not really about where you touch, it's about how you make her feel in those moments. Every interaction is a chance to show that you're not just physically there, but emotionally present too. That's what people truly want: to feel seen. And when your focus shifts from "what should I do next" to "what is she feeling right now," everything changes. Your actions become more natural, more thoughtful, and more meaningful. Now think about the area near her collarbone. It sits close to the heart both physically and symbolically. It carries a quiet sense of vulnerability. This isn't something you rush into, it's something you arrive at when there's already comfort between you. When approached calmly and without pressure, it communicates appreciation rather than urgency. And that difference matters more than most people realize. Pressure creates resistance. Calm presence creates openness. Then there are places people rarely think about, like the inside of her arm near the elbow. It's unexpected, and that's exactly why it can feel meaningful. When something isn't predictable, it captures attention. It shows that you're present, not just going through motions. Simple, thoughtful actions without exaggeration can create moments that feel genuine and memorable. As things deepen, there are areas like her waist, her hips, her stomach. These aren't just physical, they carry emotional meaning. For many women, they're connected to vulnerability and self awareness. That's why your approach here matters even more. This isn't where you begin, it's where you arrive after trust has already been built. When she feels comfortable, when she feels accepted, when she feels safe. In those moments, even a gentle, steady presence can communicate something powerful. Acceptance. No pressure, no expectations, just being there. And when she feels that, it changes everything. It allows her to relax, to be herself without hesitation. At the end of it all, everything comes back to one simple idea: presence. Not doing more, but being more aware, being intentional, being connected to the moment instead of rushing past it. So take a moment and ask yourself, are you truly present when you're with someone? Or are you focused on what comes next? Because real connection isn't built through big gestures. It's built in small, meaningful moments where someone feels seen, understood, and valued. There's one more layer to all of this that often gets overlooked. And interestingly, it has nothing to do with kissing at all. Yet it can be just as powerful. It's something simple: the way you place your hand gently on her lower back. It may seem small, but this is where something subtle and meaningful begins to unfold. Not every connection is built through intensity. Some of the strongest emotional responses come from quiet, steady gestures, and this is one of them. Is Think about that area for a moment. The lower back is at the center of her balance. It supports her posture, her movement, her sense of stability, but emotionally, it often carries more than that. It can hold tension, responsibility, the weight of everything she deals with in her daily life. So when your hand rests there calmly, without pressure or urgency, you're not just touching her, you're offering support. You're communicating, without words, that she doesn't have to carry everything alone. That feeling can be incredibly grounding. You might have experienced something like this before without realizing it. Picture a slow, relaxed moment, like walking together or standing close. When she leans slightly into you, that's not random. That's her body responding to a sense of safety. And safety is what allows someone to truly open up. What matters just as much as where your hand is placed is how you place it. If your touch feels rushed or unsure, she'll pick up on that instantly. But if it's steady, calm, and intentional, it communicates confidence and care at the same time. There's no need to force anything or expect something in return. You're simply present. There's a simple moment that explains this perfectly. A woman once described walking into a crowded place with someone she had just started seeing. She felt slightly uncomfortable, a bit out of place. Without saying anything, he gently placed his hand on her lower back as they walked. She said it wasn't the touch itself that stayed with her. It was the feeling that she wasn't alone in that moment. That's the power of a small, intentional gesture. When moments like this happen consistently, something starts to build over time: trust, emotional security, a sense that she can relax around you. And once that foundation is there, everything else flows naturally. Else- If you step back and look at the bigger picture, you'll notice this isn't really about specific places at all. It's about how you show up. Every gesture, whether it's near her neck, her hand, her arm, or even her lower back, carries a message. And that message is either rushed and distracted or calm and present. She will feel the difference immediately. That's why some connections fade quickly while others stay in memory for years. It's not about how much happened, it's about how deeply it was felt. Think about your own life. Have you ever remembered a small moment with someone that stayed with you longer than expected? Maybe it was the way they listened to you, the way they paused before speaking, or the way they made you feel seen without trying too hard. Those are the moments that leave an imprint. And the best part is, this doesn't require perfection or special skills. It only requires awareness. Awareness of her emotions, your presence, and the moment you're sharing. Here's something simple you can start doing right away. The next time you're with someone, slow everything down just a little, maybe 10%. Speak a bit slower, move a bit slower. Pause slightly longer before responding. You'll notice that everything starts to feel more intentional, more grounded, and she'll feel that shift too. When you slow down, you create space. And in that space, connection has room to grow. Another important piece is consistency. Real emotional closeness isn't built from one perfect moment. It's built from repeated experiences where someone feels safe, seen, and valued. It's how you show up over time. Do you listen? Do you notice small changes in her mood? Do you respond with care even in ordinary situations? Those are the things that build trust. And without trust, even the most perfect gesture feels empty. But with trust, even the smallest action can feel meaningful. At the core of everything is a simple shift in mindset. Connection isn't about memorizing techniques, it's about becoming someone who naturally creates meaningful moments, someone who pays attention, someone who values presence over performance, someone who understands that real intimacy develops slowly through care and awareness. If you've been paying attention, you'll notice everything comes back to one idea. It's not about what you do, it's about how you make her feel. When you truly understand that, the way you connect changes completely. You stop trying to impress and start focusing on being present. And that kind of presence, calm, genuine, and attentive, is rare. That's what makes it powerful. So bring it all together like this. Connection doesn't start in one big moment. It begins in quiet, almost invisible ones, in the way you listen when she speaks, in the way you respond to her energy, in the way you notice the little things others overlook. Every interaction becomes a message that says you see her, you respect her, and she can feel comfortable around you. And when someone feels that consistently, something shifts. She relaxes, she opens up, she trusts. And that trust becomes the foundation for something deeper than attraction. It becomes real emotional connection. Remember, this isn't about being perfect, it's about intention. It's about genuinely caring about how the other person feels. When that care is real, it shows naturally in your tone, your timing, your presence. Because in the end, people don't remember every detail. They don't remember every word or every place, but they always remember how they felt. So the next time you're with someone, don't overthink what to do. Just be present, notice them, listen. Let the moment unfold naturally. That's where real connection lives. Not in performance, but in presence. And before you go, think about this. What's one small moment you remember that stayed with you longer than it should have?